their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Yeah, you know what? Some of the guys stepped up, put some really big swings on the ball. I mean, looking around, Jake Cave had a great day out there. A few of the guys that kept had a nice day. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff going on out there. I'm going to miss, if I start naming people, I'm going to miss them all, but that's a good thing if there's that many guys doing their jobs. And it's hard not to look at what Smeltz did coming out of the pen and giving us those innings. And those are really important innings.
I, for one, never lost faith in the Minnesota Twins. I mean, what a performance. The San Francisco Giants have won, 3 World Series since Target Field was constructed, something like that? And to have that vaunted franchise walk into Target Field and you complete the sweep in the way that you did to save your season.
We're back.
We're
back, Judd.
Absolutely back.
Why can't you
just enjoy, why can't you move off your wrong takes ever? Why can't you just enjoy the fact that this team answered the bell, did what they had to do at home, national TV audience?
You know how bad it's gotten? You know how bad it's gotten for me personally?
Oh.
It's gotten this bad. Yesterday, a week and a day post appendectomy, I told Dawn, I'm going to watch the Twins game. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch the Twins game on the couch. We'll watch it together.
Oh, God.
Well, that's
I literally got top of the first, and Bally's started to Bally's. I said, you know what? Take the control. I'm going to the game. I can't take this. I can't take this anymore.
You went to the game.
And I went to the game and sat in the press box.
I think Judd was even maybe fishing. I took the girlfriend's mom to the game yesterday, and Judd even texted me like, "Hey, are you here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I took Kelsey's mom with me, and it was nice. I'm in the press box. I couldn't do Bramer after a minute.
I couldn't take it anymore."
And I said, "Okay." And then he started complaining to me about Jake Cave. So I was like, "What? Which one is it, Judd?
Jake Cave.
You leave your couch, you complain. You go to the game, you complain. They're sweeping a good team.
No, they're not a good team. 2 of the 3 pitchers were awful.
Okay,
awful.
let's get into statements here. Let's get into
come on, let's
Monday,
go. I can't take it.
Judd, Monday statements. I will lead us off here because I don't think Judd's going to do the weekend justice with whatever clownery he has planned here in statements. So here's my first statement. Jake Cave may have saved the Twins season this weekend. Let's give the man credit where it's due, okay? Yes, he has been a punchline. Diving Jake Cave. He has been unplayably bad the last 3 seasons with the Twins. He has not been a major league caliber player. But for 2 days this weekend, the go-ahead 2-run homer on Sunday, followed by a 2 RBI double later in the game to put it out of reach. And then on Saturday, 2 outs in the 9th, game on the line, and he delivers the game-tying single, sending it to extra innings. If he doesn't do anything the rest of the season, for those 2 days when the Twins needed him the most, Jake Cave delivered clutch hits and put the Twins back in position to reclaim the American League Central. I have been making fun of him for 3 years. I am man enough right here, looking both you guys in the eye, saying Jake Cave deserves credit for helping to save the Twins season this weekend.
You know what? Despite the fact that I work at what I feel to be, no question about it, is a buzz factory that just comes up with things whole cloth. I appreciate what you just said. And you know what? Jake Cave, 2 good days. That's awesome. But how you just articulated it is what I want to hear. You're right. Former punchline, quad A player. And you know what? 2 days is awesome. And I texted Dex this, and it's what I detest about things like Jake Cave being hot. It's when a wild 4th liner scores a couple of goals, and now we're like, it looks like so-and-so is turning things around and is going to, blah, blah, blah. Phil, how you said that is perfect. I love that. 2 good days. That's awesome, dude. And I am fully behind the fact that is even a good story. What I can't take is like Jake Cave, showing he belongs here. That's what just makes my skin crawl.
Okay, but why does there have to be any qualifiers on it? The guy had an amazing weekend.
Yep.
He made all of us eat crow for 48 hours.
Yep.
And I don't even have any expectations moving forward. Like, dude, you did of all the guys that are going to impact this team, the 50 guys or whatever who are going to play for this team this season, that's all we need from Jake Cave right there. Hey, just a couple clutch hits in a series in which the season's on the line. That's it. And so I agree with you in part. Like I don't know that there's anyone out there that's trying to make him seem like something that he isn't, but that's it right there. That's all Jake Cave needed to do this season, and hopefully Buxton comes back at some point soon. And if he goes 0 for his next 15, well, I mean, that's kind of who he's been the last 3 years as a major leaguer. But for those 48 hours, Jake Cave deserves to be celebrated.
I'm fine with that. Okay. I like how you put that. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good for you.
I'm the master at contextualizing things, I feel like.
That was perfectly put.
The sports scene.
Okay.
It was good.
I'll go up next year.
Phil
I'll go up next year. All right. I was at the game yesterday. Good little sweep of the Giants. And when Phil and I were doing statements last week, and I said I was waiting for a Carlos Correa moment, it then spawned a next couple days takes on Carlos Correa, who was fighting it a little bit. But my statement is some C4 is being planted right now. Some C4 is being planted at Target Field and through the last month of this season. So Carlos Correa, big week at the plate for Correa, who Judd might have motivated. He claims he motivated him a little bit here.
Bust. I called him a bust.
You called him a bust.
Relative to salary.
Okay. Asterisk next to bust. But regardless, the words bust and Carlos Correa were used by you.
Great shortstop.
Last 7 games for Correa, OPS over 1,000, 423 average. Had some big hits, drove in some runs this week. We've been waiting for a Carlos Correa big-time moment to happen, and you thought maybe you could get one this weekend, and he delivered. He had some great at-bats. He drove in some runs. There's a month left in this season. I'm excited for Carlos Correa to deliver that moment that we've all been waiting for him to deliver. The Twins fans have been asking for him to do that. Even to Judd's point, I could hear maybe a little bit of him being underwhelming so far because, I mean, he was a surprise addition and basically got his way here because he couldn't get the guaranteed contract. But I still think his presence in the locker room and everything that they brought him here for has helped the Twins be a first-place team for the most part or be in conversation to win the division. And I'm waiting for my C4 moment, and I think there's some C4 being planted right now at Target Field.
C4.
Yeah, I like it. And you don't need a ton of C4. You just need a little bit more C4 than you've been getting so far this season. Okay, just enough to beat Cleveland a few times.
I played Call of Duty enough. Yeah, you just need a little bit. Start your kill streak, you're fine.
All right. My statement is this regarding the Minnesota Twins. Keep it up through Cleveland. Here's what I mean. You've got 3 games now against a Boston team that pitching-wise is a mess, an absolute mess. You've got 3 games then over the weekend against the White Sox in Chicago. How La Russa did not get fired, I have no idea. Reinsdorf must, it's incredible because they just got swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks at home, if I'm not mistaken. And yet they changed nothing, and the White Sox are, relative to the expectations and talent, they are just a complete joke. And then after that, gentlemen, you have 4 games in the Bronx against the Yankees, and then come home to play 3 against Cleveland. You have 8 left against the Guardians, including 5 in Cleveland. So my point is this. Keep it up, and here's what I want. I want series wins. 2 of 3 from Boston at the least. With the way the White Sox are playing, 2 of 3. So I want series wins. I'm not demanding sweeps. You're not going to sweep every series. That is not realistic. Here's what I want against the Yankees, though. 4-game series, I want at least 2 games. Go in there, put on your big boy pants, because you're playing a damn good team now that's back on track, I guess. Weird team, but I mean, they're damn good. But anyway, what I want to see now is I want to see the success of the Giant series consistently carry on. And to Dex's point, I want to see Carlos Correa for the rest of 2022 play a major role in helping to carry this team at the plate. At shortstop, he is magnificent. I love to watch the guy play short, so don't get me wrong there. But I want Carlos Correa was 8 for 12 with a home run and 4 RBIs against the Giants. I want a continuation of him not just being great in the clubhouse, but also this is go time, this is money time. I want to see him thrive at the plate as well, and then I will start to believe a lot more than I do right now.
That seems like a realistic ask, right? Hey, man, it's been a good season. defensively you've been great, and behind the scenes you've been great, and you probably helped with your persistence behind the scenes, push the Twins to make some trades at the deadline that maybe they traditionally wouldn't have. And now it's time for his bat to carry this thing for the next 5 weeks. That's the ask, right? Your bat hasn't been atrocious. It's been fine.
Yes, that's what
but
I'm
it
asking.
hasn't been like a $35 million bat. It needs to be a $35 million bat down the stretch here. Which segues perfectly into my next statement. There's still time to accomplish this franchise's ultimate goal, which is to win a playoff game for the first time in 18 years. Do not lose sight of the goal here, folks. 18 straight playoff losses. And even though you've had a rocky post-deadline stretch, you've basically given all 12 games or 11 games that you were above 500 back. You were almost back to exactly 500. None of this stuff matters. You're playing, it's all sitting in front of you. You don't have the Dodgers or the Yankees sitting atop your division. You were blessed with this division. And so all of the sort of self-made and whether it was self-made muck or bad luck through injuries, whatever it is, none of it matters. You have 1 month to go. You got Cleveland sitting in front of you. You've got a couple guys at the top of your rotation that if you can just get to a playoff series, Sonny Gray, Joe Ryan, either one of those guys can give you 6 strong in a playoff game and set you up to win your first playoff game since 2004. Correa's heating up. Buxton will be back at some point, I think. And so the bar is so low here. They can clear it with one good run in September and one good game in October. And then we can all look back, even if they win 86 games and they win a weak division.
This is so pathetic and true.
We can all look back and say, oh my, they finally took a step forward for the first time in almost 20 years as a franchise by winning a playoff game. It's all sitting in front of you.
Before I die, I can also apply to this postseason losing streak. More than half my lifetime is playoff losses for the Twins. So please, just the goal of this season is just to win a playoff game. That's the goal. It's a sad goal. I agree, Judd. It's a sad goal, and it kind of contradicts some of our other mission statements of our Minnesota sports teams and on the show. but when you've lost 18 consecutive playoff games, I think you can lower that bar a little bit.
I want to know here. So we got a lot of younger people that have discovered Score North or Mackey and Judd or maybe Purple Daily for the first time the last couple of years, and we thank you for that via the YouTube channel or whatever. How old do you have to be to remember the last time the Twins won a playoff game? So you got conscious memories usually start around like 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 years old, like your first sports memories.
Yeah.
So let's say you have to be at least 6 or 7 years old to remember. Like I was 6 when the Twins won the World Series. I vaguely remember a couple things from that World Series, but mostly just newspaper clippings.
Yeah, my God. So you would have had
you got to be probably 7 years old to like solidly remember watching sports.
1996 born?
2003 or 97. 97.
Yeah, I mean,
04 was the last time they won a playoff game.
I remember 02.
04,
I was about to turn 10. Yeah, because that was 02. So I was born 92. So I was about to turn 10 years old. And my dad, I remember, was just adamant about David Justice flying out like towards the end of the game. He just thought David Justice was a bum and didn't buy into the Moneyball thing with the A's. So I remember that, and I was 9. I remember my dad out of his chair, like basically pumping his fist that the Twins are about to win their first playoff series in 10 plus years. So I would guess if to answer the question, I would think like between 8 and 10 is probably like the more conscious memory that you'd probably have to have.
So you got to be at least 25, maybe like 27 years old to remember the last time the Twins won a playoff game.
Yes.
Let's do it for those people. Let's do it for those the 23-year-old, the 26-year-old who's only known playoff losses to the Yankees, to the Astros, to the A's in 2006. That was kind of the forgotten sweep. They got swept by an even more hodgepodge A's group 4 years later.
Oh, and 06, that was...
06 was disappointing.
06 was awful.
Very
That's probably the worst
series
of it, right?
That series was pathetic.
That team had a Cy Young winner, an MVP, a batting champion, 2 Gold Glove players, and didn't win a single playoff game. They clinched on the last day of the season, but still.
I don't know if Underdog offers this type of game, but if Underdog offered 0.5 playoff wins as a team,
oh my God,
would you take the over or the under for the Twins?
I'm going to hammer the over. Number 1, because I want the payout. And number 2, because the Twins, we need to speak it into existence. So let's put a quantifying number on there from our friends at Underdog Fantasy. Over the weekend in preseason football, okay, I was able to win some coin here and on a 2-item parlay. And they have some great pick'em options. They have fantasy football options. They have fantasy baseball options. You can even draft a team for the playoffs that's coming up for the MLB postseason too through Underdog Fantasy. You can join with promo code SCORE, SKOR. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. Some fun things in the works with Judd and I too to interact with some of you users on the Underdog Fantasy app. So if you have not joined the Underdog Fantasy app, as Judd always texts me every Friday night, hey Dex, what's some picks I should make
back,
tonight?
baby. We're back, Dex.
Judd is always asking me for picks. If Judd can win some picks, and I think Judd does some of his own scouting too sometimes. This is rely on me.
I do a little bit.
So join Underdog Fantasy, promo code SCORE, SKOR. Download the Underdog Fantasy app.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Also, a shout out to our friends over at Federated Mutual Insurance Company. They've been helping with frontline protection of businesses for over 100 years. And their corporate culture, which they apply to their partnership with your business, is rooted in these 4 cornerstones: equity, integrity, teamwork, and respect. So again, they apply those 4 cornerstones to every interaction, all of their decision making. Find out how your business can potentially reach new heights partnering with Federated at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. Okay, back to Judd.
Me.
Nope, it's Declan.
Me.
Sorry.
I'm
I'm not going to go. Don't worry about it. I'm not going.
No, we're not going to sabotage the show. It's fine.
I mean, me. No, okay.
You, I,
Sorry.
me, you.
God, this show has become very selfish.
To echo both of your last 2 statements, my statement is let it ride here. Just let it ride. I'm not going to tell you to enjoy the ride because I can't guarantee you will. But I will say let it ride here. You have a bunch of games still left against your AL Central foes. I believe 8 against Cleveland, 6 against the White Sox, who just got swept over the weekend.
Tony!
Sweep them. Tony! Got to. No. Put in the pitch runner. You got to put in the pitch runner, Tony. He's taking advice from the stands, dude.
He's asleep during games.
Oh, my God.
There's no
You know what, though?
question about
Credit to him, okay? That fan was correct. And
He
made
was.
you got angle. You got angle.
You got angle. Oh, my God. It's great. According to Fangraphs, as of this morning, on Monday morning, their odds have jumped up a little bit, the Twins, that is, to make the playoffs at 38%. I believe it was under 20 going into the Giants series. So this will fluctuate, obviously, kind of up and down a lot with the wins and losses for the Twins. But, yeah, good amount of games against their Central foes. You got the Red Sox here to close out this big homestand. You got to go to the Bronx here in a week as well. Win some games. Let it ride. Let's not enjoy it, but just let it ride for a little bit. Let's see if the Twins can get back in front of the AL Central and, yes, win that GD playoff
2
game.
in the Bronx. 2. I want 2. 2 of 4.
Okay.
Not that much to ask.
So it's ESPN has them around like 38%. And let's see here. I'm just trying to look on Fangraphs.
They're at 38 too.
On Fangraphs too.
To make the playoffs, yeah.
Okay.
29% to win the division.
It's
Cleveland
right in
60.
your hands. Right in your hands, Twins. All right, Judd, you got any more Twin statements in your
Oh,
bag?
hell yeah. Of course I
he
do.
does.
Of course
Okay.
I do. What are you talking about? All right, here's my statement. Remove the temptation. Remove that temptation. I bring you to Baseball Church and tell you that the temptation is too strong for Rocco Baldelli, and so I want it removed. And what do I want removed? What's the temptation? Emilio Pagan. You can't do this. So yesterday, he comes in. The Twins are I believe, tied at the time, Dex, or they're down by a run, I think. Sanchez out after 3 2/3. Pagan comes in. And look, he got through 2/3, a hit, a run, 2 walks, and a strikeout. But here's why I want the temptation removed immediately. And I'm not joking. I'm not just like, they got to cut him. He needs to be off the roster. Here's why. He is the exact type of pitcher who they will put into a playoff game if they panic about the starter. He is the exact, it's early on. We can just bring Pagan in. It's a temptation that you don't need. It is taking any type of person who can't have a temptation in front of them and presenting it. Pagan is the snack in the fridge of the dieter, right? Well, I got some ice cream in the fridge. I mean, I might as well eat. No, we got to remove that.
Those hot Cheetos are calling my name.
Exactly. We got to remove that. So I'm serious. Pagan we have seen this, guys. We've seen games that go not even sideways, but they're just a little bit, like, oh, it might be time to take the starter out. What should we do? And my God, it's some slappy from the bullpen like Pagan. To Phil's point, I think you decrease your odds of winning a playoff game, and we're talking about one, if you have a guy like Pagan who you're like, oh, it can't hurt to bring him in. It's the fourth. No, it can't.
Yeah. I have something going on in my life right now that reminds me of the Twins' temptation to use Emilio Pagan. So, we've been dealing with little COVID sickness in the household here. I got knocked on my ass last week, kind of emerging from it. And so, friends and family will send little things here and there. And,
nice.
And we got a little COVID snack pack that includes like a bunch of Chips Ahoy, just some good comfort snacks, like chocolates and stuff.
Love it.
And now that I'm kind of emerging from it, I like to start the month of September into football season throughout my life. I like to hit the ground running with like a whole 30 or just get into the fall season, just get in healthy, right? And I figured, I could still eat these cookies and stuff. I could just, instead of eating them all in one day, what if I just kind of spread them out over the course of like a week and a half?
It's Pagans.
Well, you're still you're still eating the cookies. It
it's
doesn't
not
matter.
pecans, it's Pagans. Yes.
It's like, well, if I just maybe if I have a little bit of Pagan on Tuesday, but then I don't use them on Wednesday, and then I have some more, you're still having a ton of Pagan. It's not going to help you.
And now the next thing, it's Friday, midnight, and you're like, I really shouldn't eat. Bad time to eat, right? But there's a stack of Pagans.
3-1. We could just bring him in. Oh, what if we just brought him in for an out? Just he could just. It's not how it works.
It's a cigarette. I'm trying to quit, but there's some Marlboros right there, and I just had a beer. Oh, what the heck? I'll have a Pagan.
I just need one drag. It's like the Cookie Monster Family Guy.
You put some respect on a cigarette after a couple of beers like that. I would not. Don't put the slander with Emilio Pagan on it.
Believe me, I've seen that around my house before.
Yeah.
Those heaters are expensive too.
Amazing. All right. Any other final Twins-related statements from you guys?
No, I got to experience my first Jorge Lopez entrance.
Oh yeah, what'd you think?
Which is pretty cool. It's kind of eerie.
It's better at night.
I bet it's
they
way
shut
better.
the lights off.
Yeah, I bet it's way better.
I've tweeted
at night.
that before.
It's pretty cool. They kind of still show him warming up. In fact, I was like, does he not know he's supposed to come into the game? Because
that's the new thing.
They're still showing. He throws 2 to 3 more additional pitches in the pen. Well, the Edwin Diaz thing is gold. Right. That is absolutely gold.
The White Sox with Liam Hendricks have a pretty cool one too, where the lights go off and flicker.
Yeah,
it's always kind of a little more embarrassing when you give up 3 earned runs or something after that whole production.
That doesn't work out too well. But yes, it's very cool. Glenn Perkins had to cut him down. I got so sick of Stand Up and Shout by Joe Nathan. But I mean, even that was, in its heyday, it was pretty cool. I love the Jorge Lopez one. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Did Mariano Rivera with the Enter Sandman, was he the first closer with entrance music?
I think Trevor Hoffman beat him to it with Hell's Bells.
Okay.
I think that's when it started to get really popular.
And then was it Heath Bell that would do the full-on sprint, the fat guy sprint from the bullpen out at Petco, which is like a far sprint. That park is huge.
Bullpen cars, dude.
How many times did he walk the first batter because he was still out of breath from sprinting his 300-pound ass all the way from the bullpen?
The fat man sprint.
I mean, I walk up and down the steps in my house and get winded going into a Purple Daily recording, for God's sakes. All right.